Etheric cords are formed between people who have unresolved emotions and issues between them. Each and every time we send out negative thoughts or angry words of jealousy, envy, hurt or need towards someone, a tiny thread is manifested which attaches to them. This forms a bond or attachment of sorts. If we consistently send out these feelings and emotions, these tiny threads become cords or ropes. These strong cords remain and bind us to the person we feel negatively towards. Unless these cords, or binds, are resolved, they will reactivate and inevitably draw towards us those with whom we have unresolved issues. This happens in order to enable our soul to reface the lesson of forgiveness, and gives us the opportunity to do things differently. The spiritual law of attachment encourages us to weigh up what we want and need for our soul's growth, rather than for our ego's sake. We can be attached to things and objects as well as other people. Negative energies such as pride, envy, greed and need can form strong cords, or ties, to such objects as bank balances, occupations, houses, jewels and even cars. This is why they are called the trappings of wealth. We can have financial wealth, a great job, a beautiful home, furniture and car and all that we desire in our lives, but if we need to possess them in order to give us a sense of self-worth, security and or status, they then become a trapping. We are entitled to enjoy a wonderful, loving relationship, or relationships, but if we need them to validate ourselves, then this becomes neediness. Neediness binds you to your partner, resulting in you being emotionally, and psychically, pulled to and fro. Codependent relationships enmesh us in such strong cords that it is difficult to be and feel objective about the relationship. We become negatively bound out of need. If a parent is tightly bound to a child, and vice versa, it can become difficult to release that child into adulthood. This in turn can result in the child finding it difficult to form and maintain mature, adult relationships with a partner. Attachment is conditional love. If we need someone to behave in a certain manner in order for us to love them, then this is conditional love. It is attachment. According to the spiritual law of attachment, unconditional love dissolves the ties and cords that bind. When we put our expectations, desires and hopes on other people, they react from their own patterns. When we love them unconditionally, we accept them for who they are, as they are. Forgiveness and unconditional love dissolves cords and ties. Our souls and inner selves want us to release all of our unresolved issues so that we are free to move forward upon our spiritual paths. When we forgive others and totally let go of what has occurred in the past, we are able to free the other person, and most importantly, free ourselves. Emotions such as guilt and shame bind us to negative memories and hold back our spiritual growth. When we are ready to forgive ourselves for past actions, deeds and feelings, we are able to dissolve these restrictive binds and the memory loses its power over us. The spiritual law of attachment teaches us that the most powerful way to release attachment is by visualization, intention and unconditional love for ourselves and others. The laws of creation. Spiritual law of attention. Energy flows where attention goes. Whatever you focus on and give your attention to will manifest into your life. This is the spiritual law of attention. Attention is the focus of your words, thoughts and actions. Spiritual law ensures that an outcome will manifest to the exact degree you give it your attention. Our expectations differ according to the expectations of the individual. Although people may live similar life situations, each will hold a different picture of the expected outcome. Each will create a different result as each person creates their own reality. We are to pay attention to the hints, signs, symbols and whispers from the universe in order to be guided along our path. The spiritual law of attention governs that if we give our attention to worry and or fear, we give it energy and manifest it into creation. If we are continuously picturing worst-case scenarios and always talking about our fears and worries, we are actively drawing and attracting the energy of those fears into our lives. According to the spiritual law of attention, positive energies are more powerful than negative energies. Therefore, when we focus on the positives rather than the negatives, we are much more inclined to draw in and manifest positive outcomes into our lives. When we hold the positives in our attention and focus, we are able to manifest our dreams, goals and desires into our lives. Our positive expectations come to fruition when we hold the vision and do the necessary work. The spiritual law of attention tells us that what we focus on will manifest, therefore be careful what you wish for, as you just may get it. Spiritual law of flow. The universe is comprised of energy. Everything changes and moves and nothing is static. The spiritual law of flow governs every area of life within the universe. To allow new into our lives, we must let go of the old. If something is full, there is no room for anything new to put into it. If we hold on to old emotions and are full of old memories, it prevents new and happier things to come in. If we hoard things, whatever they may be, there is no space for the new and positive to enter. If we throw something away, the spiritual law of flow ensures that something new will take its place. If we have the same beliefs and thoughts, then we will receive the same conditions and circumstances. According to the spiritual law of flow, if we begin to make positive changes, regardless of how insignificant or small they may seem, something different will come in. This is how the spiritual law of flow works. If you want something different, do different things. As soon as we release memories, thoughts and beliefs that are no longer needed, we open the door for new to come in. We constantly receive guidance from the universe, although most people are unaware of it. Many ignore their gut feelings and intuition and reject the promptings of their soul. When we know within that something may lead to trouble and misery, yet we do it anyway, we ignore and resist the messages of our higher selves. Our intuition is our guidance from the universe, and when we honor it, we are going with the spiritual law of flow. Find and understand the spiritual law of abundance. The word abundance covers many things such as joy, success, prosperity, happiness, vitality, generosity, laughter, goodwill, unconditional love, and all of the positive things in life. The spiritual law of abundance plays a part in all aspects of our lives. A constant flow of abundance is always being directed towards us, but our thoughts, beliefs, memories, mindsets and self-worthiness creates barriers to receiving it. It is our responsibility to remove the blockages that halt the flow of abundance. Within the spiritual law of abundance, love involves enjoying all of our relationships. When we close our hearts, we block the flow of abundance into our lives. Our fears and beliefs involving hurt and rejection makes us close our hearts. They cause us to emotionally withdraw and or cling to unhealthy, and sometimes toxic, relationships. We cease loving when our minds and thoughts take over and we see imperfections in others. This forms blocks against the flow of love. The spiritual law of abundance teaches us that success is a state of mind rather than a particular achievement. When our entire focus is on reaching a specific goal, that we perceive to be success, there may be a moment of elation once it is achieved, but then another goal must be set that we are able to succeed again. The spiritual law of abundance tells us that success is about going with the flow of life, taking positive advantage of the ebb and flow of life and enjoying the journey along the way. Introduction to Universal Spiritual Laws. All of creation is governed by certain laws. In regards to humans, we incarnate into a physical body in order to experience life and to experience and learn from these laws. The earth plane is where humans experience life and learn life lessons. These life lessons come in the form of experiencing situations, life circumstances and events. The way we deal with these situations is how we determine our life lessons and whether we pass these tests or not. The aim of our souls is to gain enlightenment and to ascension. This is the total mastery of each and every life lesson offered to us. This can take many lifetimes to achieve. We often incarnate, or reincarnate, to meet with the same life experiences and people in order to retake a test, relearn a lesson, redo a challenge and or to finally resolve ongoing issues. The universal spiritual laws are rules, or patterns, that are applied to the entire universe and all that it contains. The universal spiritual laws can be placed into 4 basic categories, and each covers different aspects of life. The first group, called the basic laws of life, consist of the spiritual laws of attraction, including the 11 subsidiary laws: request, resistance, reflection, projection, attachment. The second set of spiritual laws are known as the laws of creation. These laws contain attention, flow, abundance, clarity, intention, prosperity, manifestation, success. The third set of spiritual laws, known as the laws of higher awareness, include balance and polarity, karma, reincarnation, responsibility, discrimination, affirmation, prayer, meditation, challenge. The laws of higher frequency are the fourth set and include the spiritual laws of higher frequency or vibration, miracles, healing, purification, perspective, gratitude, blessings, decree, faith, grace. 1. All of the universal spiritual laws work in conjunction with one another. The basic laws of life. The law of attraction. In order for the law of attraction to truly be activated, we must be aware of the other universal spiritual laws and abide by them, as all the spiritual laws run concurrently. All of us want positive abundance in our lives. Abundance is much more than just money. It is the flow of energy that comes to us from the universal source. This includes both spiritual and material prosperity. Abundance is wisdom and love, talents and skills, virtues and values. It is money and material goods. Abundance is whatever we need in order to fulfill our lives and our life purpose or soul mission. By using the law of attraction, we are able to draw abundance into our lives. The first key is to be grateful. Be grateful for the beauty and joy of creation. Be grateful for who you are and all that you are. Be grateful for everything that happens to you, as everything comes with a lesson to teach. Even when things are not going to plan, be grateful for the opportunity to be shown that adjustments need to be made in order to make things right or better. Be grateful for all who enter your life and see the light in everyone you meet. The law of attraction can be counteracted by the emotions and energy of anxiety and fear. Fear and anxiety are major deterrents to attracting your desires into your life. We are unable to be a clear channel of positive flow if we are anxious and fearful. Faith and trust are antidotes to fear and anxiety. Faith and trust precipitate the vibrations of the law of attraction. Pay attention to your thoughts and beliefs. Attention is the key, for where man's attention goes, his energy, and he himself can only follow. Saint Germain: we can activate the law of attraction by visualizing exactly what we want to see happen in our lives. With the help of our inner vision and wisdom, we can maximize the effectiveness of our affirmations, prayers and meditations. Visualize the desired outcome. Imagine and see what